Hello YouTube, welcome back to another knife review. Sorry for the lack of uploads the last couple of days. I was getting some chores done, had some things I needed to do. But today's video is going to be about my everyday carry. Got a lot of knives, I could carry any of them, but this is usually what I have in my pocket more often than anything else. I carry this more than I remember my wallet, you know. Go-to knife, although this does change every once in a while, is the Benchmade 940 Osborne. This is the version 2. Then my multi-tool is a Officer's Suite Victorinox. We can go over this first. This is always in my pocket every single day. So we've got the blade on it that I already put away. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out one-handed. Ooh boy, probably not. Here, let me put the camera down for just a second. I'll cut that out, or maybe I won't. We'll see. Probably won't. The blade is very nice. I don't ever use this blade. It's for when I really need a sharp knife. I tend to use that one for just about everything. So if I need something that will be shaving sharp, this is usually ready to go. The steel on Victorinox is pretty soft, really easy to sharpen. It's not a hard use steel. On this model you got the parcel hook, you've got a corkscrew, and a micro screwdriver, which is gone. I really hope that's in my pocket. Oh boy, it's in my pocket. That's cool. I had this open while I was walking to find a spot to record, and the little micro screwdriver came out, but that screws into there. Come on, bud. Screws into there. You can get replacements. I know they make ferro rods and tinder that you can screw in. Behind the corkscrew opener there is a little needle. On the back of the parcel hook there's a fingernail file. You get the toothpick and the tweezers, of course. This model is the plus scale, so you also get a pen. That all fits in there. And if you didn't know, Victorinoxes also come, let me see if I can screw this back in super high def. Oh yeah, look at that. Wasn't that awesome? If you didn't know, you can get aftermarket scales for these in titanium or brass or whatever your fancy is. The biggest update on this particular model is the full-size scissors. That was a must. That's why I wanted a Swiss Army knife in my pocket, was for scissors. And the multi-tool can opener. It is a wire stripper right here against the frame. You can strip wires. It's also a screwdriver because that point is pointy enough to get in. Actually, I have a screw right here that I can demonstrate on. Right there, like that. See how that will fit into the screw and it will allow you to turn it. That was a handy place screw, huh? It's a bottle opener. It's a can opener because that's coming to a little bit of a point. That's also used as a flathead if it's small enough to fit. And I think those were all the functions of that particular tool. This is a lifesaver. I use that toothpick and tweezers all the time, and a pen. You don't have to carry a pen on you because you've got one in your freaking knife. I think I will switch out that micro screwdriver for a fire starter or a ferro rod, because I start more fires than I use little tiny screwdrivers like that. That's hardly ever the right size. It's supposed to be for like glasses. If you wear glasses, that should be a good size screwdriver for your eyewear. But I don't, so I don't find it very useful. But all in all, this is MacGyver Plus. It's so amazing, and it's still small, slim, lightweight. The one complaint that I do have about it so far is the toothpick wears out a little bit fast, but they give you such a long length. What I've done is I take my knife and I resharpen it, and it works just fine. And I can resharpen it until that bump right there. So, got plenty of time, because I know the refills for the tweezers and stuff are really expensive, but eventually you might need to get new ones. Another thing is the scales coming loose. That's a bit more of a major complaint. Not the end of the world, but yeah, gonna need to super glue that. I may switch the scales out on this. That's why I haven't fixed it yet, because I think I want to get brass scales or maybe titanium. Not sure. And sorry about that. I had to take a call real quick. But I was just about to tell you about this Benchmade. And I'll have a more in-depth review for anyone who's interested. I know this is a really popular knife, and I'd be the millionth person to review it. And I'm not going to do that in today's video. I'm just telling you about what I carry and why I carry it. And we'll get right into that. This is just such a phenomenal knife. First of all, it's thin and it's not very wide, so when you put it in your pocket, you can fit your hand alongside of it really easily. There's no worries about that. Crossbar lock is super fun and fidgety, although I think I've grown out of that. But it still works great. Reverse flicks, playing with the crossbar lock, however you want to open it. You can even get it to open just by flicking it open, like so. Green adds a nice pop of color. I like that. I like the G10. It's held up well. You can see on the end I've banged. I've used this as a hammer a little bit, and how I've used the tip as a pry bar. I've pulled staples with it. You name it, I've done it. Oh, you can see right there some of the scratches. It's held up great. And the reason it holds up so well, if it'll focus, is because of that tip. Oh my god. It just won't focus. Okay. It narrows down towards the middle just for that little bevel, that swedge cut. And then it comes right back up to full thickness almost. And that gives you such a stout tip. It's amazing. So you can use this as a pry bar, or, you know, things that people tell you not to use a knife for. I found that this does great. Complemented with the S30V steel. That's a perfect, well-rounded steel even for today. I really like it. It's not too hard or too soft. It could be just a tad bit harder. And I do believe more modern versions of S30V are slightly higher on the Rockwell scale. But as far as fit and finish, I mean, there's no freaking play in the blade. This knife I've carried for years, like 5, 6 years. Enough years to forget how long I've been using this. You can see how far I've sharpened it down. I'm sharpening the choils, the thumb studs every time I sharpen it now. This has been through hell and back, and it's still in my pocket, ready to go. I haven't even worn the finish off the pocket clip. So this just, it deserves every single bit of praise that I can give it for what it's worth. I know a lot of people have problems with Benchmade because of the price, but I've had nothing but pleasant experiences with the knives I bought from them. I have a few genuine knives and a few copies. Copies obviously don't stand up to the fit and finish of the real deal. And I don't think that's something that anyone's complained about. The only complaint I have about this knife is that those screws stick through. And I could have fixed that years ago. I never have. And I don't think I ever will, because it's not scratching the blade. And I don't think I care if it scratches the blade, to be honest. But this thing has been great. No nicks that I couldn't sharpen out. The tip hasn't broken off. It hasn't hurt me. None of the screws come loose. The pivot stays where it's supposed to be. Still got perfect centering. Needs resharpened. But what can I say? What can I say about it other than it is a freaking fantastic knife? And that one, and this guy right here is the perfect combo for me. It's not too heavy. You hardly even remember you're carrying these two knives with you. And I love them. It's going to be hard for me to replace either one permanently. And I haven't found a replacement for either one. Although I have lots of knives, especially fixed blades. I have a few different Swiss Army style knives. But I have so many options, and this always gets thrown back in my pocket. Maybe because it's already beat up and I don't want to hurt any of my other knives. Although I do use all of my knives. It's just something about this. It's just the action, how light it is. And I love it. I love this combo right here. And a little bit of paracord in case I need to, I don't know. I really don't know what I'd do with that much paracord. Probably nothing. But this video is already over 10 minutes. So I think I'll wrap it up right there. I want to let you guys see what I tend to carry on a daily basis. It might give you a perspective, some things you haven't thought of, like weight or size or what you're using your tools for. I don't know. Seemed like a good place to start with my long form videos. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.